Assalamu alaikum. Sulaiman Rahim here, Messenger of the Covenant, breaker of the seven seals. Welcome. Welcome, brothers and sisters. I'm going to talk about the nine plagues. I'm still working on my system. I think I got many things corrected now, but still got a few more things to do, so bear with me. Brothers and sisters, let me do something here right quick. These are awesome times. Awesome times. And I fear that many of you, or most of you, don't understand at all. These are awesome times, but who's stepping up to the plate? It says Suleiman would look around and be amazed that there was no one to step up with him. That's what it says. You know, before I met Elijah Muhammad, I had never met a black person that had one positive thought in their head, one thought period. I don't think they could add 5 plus 5. I was amazed because I met Elijah Muhammad when I was 21. I've been in the military. I've been, Vietnam, Germany, been different places. Met a lot of black people from all over the country. I didn't meet one that could put two thoughts together. And I didn't understand it because I was a thinking person. I was always studying and reading. The knowledge I have right now didn't come overnight. It comes 73 years of constant studying, constant studying, constant studying. And I didn't have anybody to teach me. I didn't go to college. I don't have a degree. But I looked at it and I said, wait a minute, hold it. I'm going to pay this person all this money to teach me. And the first thing they do is pull out a book. I said, hell, I can read. I can go get that book myself. And that's what I did. I didn't sit around and wait for somebody to tell me things, watch cartoons, Disney World, Disneyland, and, movies and Netflix. No, I was studying, constantly studying. See? But that's my nature. But that should be your nature too if you're an original person. So who took that from you? Because you see the universe out there, you put that out there. You didn't put that out there by scratching your ass. You didn't put it out there by sitting around here, right, drinking pina coladas, laying down on the beach, get some fake suntan. So what happened? Because your mind was stolen from you. And so what the scientists did, they put your mind in a book called the Angel. They lock it down tight, real tight. Impregnable lock. So no one could mess with it, nobody could take it, nobody could destroy it, because that's your mind. They'd be returning you, because the only way you can return, you have to have thorough knowledge of self, what Master Muhammad told you, and that means you have to get your mind back. It tells you that both in Daniel, it tells you that both in Mark, right? It tells you that both in, as I said, Daniel, right? It tells you in all those books. You have to get your mind back. Your mind was stolen from you. So it was preserved. So you understand, mind is like software. Mind is software. You can have a computer, but you gotta have software to run it. It's just a computer set there. And you have to get good software. And your mind's your software. And that's the engine, your software. And it was locked down tight. Invincible lock. Impregnable lock. Make sure no one get at it, and they only entrust it to one person. They didn't even entrust to the God. They only entrusted one person, and they knew, they was positive, they was sure, I was sure that that person would know what to do with it. That they would entrust that person with it, because only one person was entrusted with it. It's like engrams. It was written in a way that only his mind, that person's mind, forget it. And he will entrust it with your mind. That's why I said the Lamb's Book of Life, you just trust with your mind. Your mind. That's a hell of a responsibility. And said, and do it, and to make, and not only that, but it was entrusted with that, but it was not just entrusted with them to be able, it was entrusted with them to do the impossible. To release that mind. So they not just had to find it, right? They had to do the impossible. Break those seals. Will require an effort, an impossible effort. Because it says, no one in heavens or earth or beneath the earth was worthy. They didn't say able, said worthy. Right? And it was like he was slain from the foundation of earth. That means, do you know when know what it means? Foundation. What was it found? What was the foundation of earth laid? 76 trillion years ago. They say, well, look, he was slain almost like 76 trillion years of work to do this. That's what it would take. That's why the book was sealed. And plus the effort to lift those seals would have been impossible. So you might have the mind to do it, but you had to put the effort. You might have the mind to do it, but you have to do the effort in. You have to do both. Lamb had to do both. And what was he going to get out of it? Lifting you up. He's doing it for you. He didn't ask you for any money. Because if you couldn't pay him, how are you going to pay him for that kind of effort? $1 billion, $10 billion? That's called sacrificial life. He had to give his life. See, I share very few people. I'm not going to go to details, but I had a revelation when I was a child about this. And I never liked that revelation because it said that when the end would come, just before the end, I would be burnt out, totally. Totally. Right? Wasted. See? What's that? Right there. And I know we must be at the end, brothers, because I can't feel any more wasted than I am right now, but I moved 30-some years of preaching to the graveyard. That's what we said it would take. It would take 30 years or more preaching to the grave, talking with nothing happening. Because remember, Ezekiel says, can these bones live? That's the effort. So, and that's hard for somebody to be doing something and don't see a result, because they call it insanity, doing the same thing over and over again and not getting a non-result. But that's what required, based on their technique, based on their understanding. It would take an insane effort to do this. And so what you're seeing is the result of that. But you don't see the process. You couldn't handle the process. That's why these clowns out there with all that stuff, I laugh at them because they're nothing. They're like an ant going up against a Hulk. They're nothing. They didn't put the work in. They have no idea what I know. I mean, you only get a small portion of what I know anyway. And that's even before the angel. So they want, the first God 76 trillion years ago by that, that person's self, by itself, alone in total triple darkness, just like the sperm in the womb, all by itself. No mystery God down there, Farrakhan. And it's got that egg, it's you all by itself, right? But it's got enough wisdom to start taking energy from that egg material and start to creating itself. So that's what the first God was like. See, these things, the things that you see in life now are just reflections of the creation. Because if you study the sperm in the womb, that's pretty much how the creation went. Okay? Like the Quran says, signs everywhere. But we use the same model over and over again. I mean, it's a perfect model. Why change it? So and no one knows how long he was there in the center of the universe, which is the center of Earth, all by itself, alone, totally. Nobody knows there was no sun and moon, anything to measure time. Nobody knows. Some say million years, some say trillion years, some billion years. Nobody knows. Maker, owner, creator of the planet Earth, guardian of Earth. So he alone started this creation you see. First, forming the earth. So nobody has how long he was alone before he started replicating itself. But alone, had to make that decision. Do I just sit here on my ass and let nothing happen? Or do I start doing something? With mine. That's the decision that being had to make. Do I sit here in total triple darkness, doing nothing, or do I start doing something with this creation? That's the decision you have to make. And you see the decision, you see the result of it. And Cavey, as smart as he thinks he is, he can't touch it. Like he could not touch the angel. And we got people who think, and now we see, once we finish the creation, now it's time to enjoy it. And we got some people think that, oh man, they get a free ride. See, that devils, they want this creation. They try to take it. And they would be successful in taking it. If Suleiman wasn't on the scene, and Master Muhammad is on the scene, and still may be successful at that, because if they can still, at their last minute, get you to sell out reparations, restore Jacob and Sue, sell your birthright, they'll achieve it. But that's what they want. They want it. And read that story carefully, because maybe they might win. They might succeed. Because I can tell you right now, if you despise your inheritance, then we just tell you to kiss our butt, we move on. And we'll take them and make something out of them. Remember what John said, John the Baptist? He said, you don't come out here. I said, we can make souls out of stones. Which thing he was talking about? Souls out of stones. That means we can use them. If you reject it, you better read that story carefully. There may be prophecy. There may be prophecy. Because they fighting for this kingdom. And you sitting around watching NFL, scratching your ass, vaping, and all that stuff. And they're fighting for this creation. Isn't that a story of Jacob and Esau? It was your inheritance. You forsake it. You spit on it, shit on it. You better think about that real hard. But we don't need you. Remember, the male carried the seed. There's plenty of females on the other side of the world. You despise your inheritance and give it like Farrakhan's trying to trick you to do. Chief Demon, you despise it and sell it. I look at that story over and over again, brother and sister, and I say, they trying to say that that's what these people are going to do? That's why I'm here, to make sure you have the right information So you can't say you didn't have the right information. So if you sign that contract, God will honor it. He honored Jacob's contract with Esau. Even though Esau, Jacob tricked him out of it. Because Jacob wanted it, and Esau despised it. Say, oh man, I just give it some soup. You better read that story carefully, brothers and sisters. Because I'm out here. Whether you come with me or not. And Master Muhammad, he's there, whether you accept it or not. And we're going back home whether you like it or not. And we're going to have the promised land whether you like it or not. And if you don't want it, give it to someone else. We give to this Jacob, the fake inheritor. False Israel trying to pretend they have it. Oh, why is it? See, I'm. Well, it's just, some things, you know, I don't know. I really don't want to talk, you know, like somebody keeps saying, why do you keep talking? Because I'm going to raise Lazarus. Now, what Lazarus does, that's up to him. I'm going to raise him. I'm raising him. And that's going to happen. That's not going to go undone. I'm making it happen. It's going to happen. Right? I'm not going to fail in my mission. But what Lazarus does, see, he wake up, sign that contract. Yeah, I'll take these 7 deceived by Farrakhan, because Farrakhan pretending that he's representing God. Oh, they got a big deception vision going for you. But you better read that carefully. Because you can end up over here burnt up when your enemies who persecute you, stole from you, cheated you, end up inheriting the kingdom. You better read that story carefully. Is that prophecy? You better read that story carefully. A threat? Yes, a threat. You read that story. I'm not making a threat. I'm just telling you. Okay? It's a threat if you want to take that away. Because if you make that deal, it's going to be honored. But read that story carefully. So very, very carefully. Because all these trickers out here, see, you think some people say, I ain't with Farrakhan. They are with Farrakhan. They said to do that. So in other words, if they can't, if you can see through Farrakhan, they got a second base for you. Don't you understand anything? Get past this trap. Oh, they can't. Farrakhan can't fool them anymore. So it's had a second trap, but they fall into that one. Oh, we ain't with Farrakhan, but you still ain't with Suleiman, ain't you? You're still not with the injury. You still have your right mind. They don't care if you miss that plane by 1/8 of a second. If you missed by 1/8 of a second, you still missed it. Satan don't care if you missed heaven by 1/10 of a second, you still missed it. And like Elijah said, a lot of people are going to come that close and stumble. I'm making it clear to you, brothers and sisters. Because these people, they fight for this king. What you say they fighting for? They fighting for it. They're about to go to war for it. While you sitting around vaping, right? Some of you got your hair up Farrakhan's ass. Some of you got Salah's ass. Some of you got Democratic Party. I mean, you're all over the place. But you ain't where you're supposed to be. You ain't in the right place. That's your choice. Because the plane's going to leave on time. I got the tickets. Master Muhammad has the transportation. And like getting on a train, everything else, right? You had to have tickets to get on that train. Conductor, he just conducts you, right? It's the ticket master that allows you to get on that train. That's the same situation, brothers and sisters. So I'm going to talk briefly about these 9 plagues, brothers and sisters. Okay? I'm not going to real detailed explanation of it. But just reiterate, we got this great creation that's prepared. Trees of plants out there, but you didn't have it. So maybe God's of planets, unlimited. So your seed would be unlimited. That means it's not going to be here on the earth. It says God is wide as the heavens and the earth. God is wide as the heavens and the earth. That means the garden is going to span, going to include the whole universe. It wouldn't be a garden if you couldn't get out there. If you get out there, it's just a dead plant. What good does that be? No, that's prepared. It's all been prepared for you. And you pay the price for it. Now you're going to sit around and do nothing? You want that. But you don't want to do the cost. Because if just going through the Holocaust was enough, then we came out in the Holocaust, that mine was right there. Just go to Best Buy and pull off the shelf. Let's go to Best Buy and pull off the shelf. If it was that, no. Because there's a final stage. Because we don't want everybody going up in there. We make sure what's going is perfect, pure. Because we're going to build a kingdom that's going to last forever. Don't you put all these connected dots? It's got to be a perfect kingdom. You can't be flawed going up in there. So when you come out, you got that last barrier. And to make sure you understand who's who and the what's the word used? The hierarchy. I know I always have a hard time spelling that word. Hierarchy. You know what I'm talking about. Hierarchy. But since I never was very eloquent. I laugh at myself sometimes. I know these words, I know what they mean, but somehow it's on present now, so as I get older, it seems like it gets more difficult. Hierarchy. Let me stop. You know what I'm talking about, right? See? So you know who the God is because he's the only one to get you out of here. You know, all this stuff was designed, but I could tell you all kinds of things. All this was prepared for you to be over here. Part of the reason why you're over here is just to keep us together. We say, oh, how does that work? Because all the devils around us took off, was the personification of negativity that allowed us to keep together. I talked about that a little bit before. I'm not going to it right now. Keep us together as a people. See? And then being here, right, then you had to overcome this to get back home, to show that you was worthy. That's why I call it the furnace of affliction. See? A purification. So you go back home pure. Why do you call you pure gold? Why do you refer to as gold and silver? Brothers, these terms are not there for nothing. So you go back home perfect. In the furnace, you put gold in the furnace to purify it. 140,000 are pure. We don't want you going back corrupt, a demon. So that's that last process. You got hierarchy. No, I thought I could say it fast enough. I can get it before I trip over it. So you know who the God is. Because he's the only one to get you out of here. So I said, man, I'm going to leave and go to Africa. Okay, you go there. Do you know what you run into? You can get your stuck over there so fast. By your loving Obama, you don't even know, you don't have what I'm talking about, do you? I know you don't. So you go over there. You try to escape here. You know, what the Bible says is anybody that gets in the door other than this way, they're cursed. They be cut to pieces. You better read it again. So there's one way to get out of here. So you go, I'm going to be slick, man. I'm going to go to Africa. Okay, we go on. You know what you run into over there? You know what's going to happen in Africa? You have no idea. I laugh at people, they say all this stupid. If that was the case, then why even talking about this? Just go back to Africa. It's like stupid Wesley. No people are retarded there. That's why I show you, as I say, you can't find people that put two words together that can add and subtract. Because he's saying my problem was, he did a whole thing about a couple of years ago. It was the sun. Wouldn't get enough sun. He would get all this math, science, and all that stuff. sun rays. Or he breaking down. He got a PhD, right? Claiming he don't know shit. He all right. I'm saying, okay, if that's the case, then how come the Africans over there, they got plenty of sun? How come they still got problems? And if it's just simple as that, then why don't we just go back to Africa? You say we ain't going nowhere. We just get some more sun and we'll be fine. It's just stupid shit. See? Oh, he said, yeah. Because I don't want that. If that bothers you, get the hell away from here. See? Because Noah says, hey man, get the, here's Noah, right? Bring them shit planks over here, man. I'm tired of your shit. Oh. And you said, man, he said shit, man, I ain't gonna get on his ark. Okay. Okay, don't get on it. So you don't understand what I'm doing. I don't want any imperfections. Because if you can't see it, if you see the ark, if you know the ark is your salvation, Noah can talk about your mama, your daddy, your grandpapa. He can come in hairs at their ass and everything else, and you not getting up that ark. There's no way he can get you up there. Unless he physically throw you off there, then he got a big fight on his hand. So he know that you ain't for real. If he can say anything to get you to walk away. Because I had a lot of people walk away over the years. I shake that tree all the damn time. Because you ain't for real. And we don't want you. You have to be 100%. See? 100%. That's what it's all about. So you have to understand hierarchy. Oh, here I go again. See? And the person that gives you tickets. Because you got to respect that. The foot got to respect the brain has to do its job. Because the brain do its job, it's benefiting the foot too. But if the foot can interfere with the brain, both of them in trouble. But the brain don't put itself above the foot. It just says, leave me alone. Let me do my function. Respect my function. You know what I'm saying? I'm better than you. No, respect my function. Because the foot just say, okay, you think you're better than me, then you get to hurting. And all of a sudden, you get the point. You get the brain's attention. Nobody's better than anybody else, but everybody has a function. And you're supposed to respect that function. And you got to respect Master Muhammad as your God. Because that's the function he's serving. That's the function he's doing. You can't get sit down and say, I'm this, I'm that. Well, if you're that, do the function. You have to come and tell me, man, I'm a brain cell. Well, then do the function. You have to tell me. Function as a brain cell, then we know you're a brain cell. I got evidence of what I'm doing. Nobody on this planet was able to break those seals. Now, they can talk all they want to, but they can't break them. Now, I've done it. I have done it. And Scripture tell you what it took to do it and what the result would be. You understand? I've done it. So I have to go around exalting myself or whatever. And if you tell you respect the person, you respect the brain cell for being a brain cell. See, you say, I'm Mr. Brain Cell. I'm Miss Brain Cell. See, you don't say, hey, no. You get respect to being a brain cell. You give Master Muhammad respect to being a God. He shows you God. Who you think is controlling this planet on the physical level? They tell you in the military, whoever controls the skies, who controls the skies? They tell you he controls the skies. They can't put anything up against him. Don't you understand anything, brothers and sisters? Who controls the thought zone, thought atmosphere? Who's got your mind? Your mind was safeguarded. Make sure no would be tamper-proof. No errors in it. So someone could jump up into my eye. They can holler, scream all you want to in the graveyard. That's not going to do anything. Not do anything for you. You can go to the gym, lift one weight, holler, like some of the clowns go to the gym. They got 10-pound weight. I said, man, you want to slap the shit out of them. What the hell, tolerant. Well, that's all that for. It's gonna make you stronger. Tolerant carrying on. So you're in the graveyard talking loud. Think that's gonna do something? That's not uploading angel. Uploading angel is you gotta get in there and study and learn it. Start breaking, right? Those atomic bombs. See? That gets you to hereafter. I'm not. I can go. I'm gonna stop there because I can go into a whole lot of stuff about that. See? I'm gonna do a little. I'm gonna do a little. Oh, man, so much talking. I'm gonna do a little. Oh, well, I don't know if I'm going on this road or not. You know, the reality you're in right now, that's the reality you created. But we got to take consideration the resistance that devil puts up. So it's a combination of both. So it's like, you're dealing with a headwind. You're driving, you drive 60 miles an hour, right? I mean, you want to go 50 miles an hour, but you got a headwind of 20 miles an hour. So you want to go 60, you want to go 50, but you got a headwind of 20 miles an hour, right? That means you're only going 30 miles an hour if you got foot, if you got your foot on and say 50. Because it's not measuring the literal speed, it's measuring the tires. How much ground the tire, the rotation of the tire, that's what's measuring. So the wind is always pushed so back to 20 pounds, so 20 miles per hour. So if you press down at 50, you're only going 30 if you got a headwind of 20 miles per hour. So if you really want to go 50, you got to get up to right. If you let me back up here. If you got it at 50, you're only going 30 after 20. So if you want to go 50, that means you got to put it up to 70. So in real time, if you got a cop with this little thing, he gonna see you going at 50, even though you say it's 70 on there, because you got that headwind. Because if you measure, you're only going 30, even though you say 50, because you got a 20 mile per hour headwind. And so we got a headwind here with these devils. Suleiman's trying to break through that. Master Muhammad is working on it also, but still got a headwind. So let's forget about the headwind. Let's take out right? If there was no headwind, the reality that you in at any particular time, that's the reality you created. Because you took the energy you got, and that's the form you gave it. So if you end up in a prison or something, that's the form you gave it. Because all the things you did, consequence, all the stuff you did came to, and that's the form you gave it. So now you lock yourself up in that prison. You don't want you your own warden. You're your own warden because you lock yourself up in there. Hope you understand that, brothers and sisters. Forget about the devils. They don't say you handle resistance. And that's where you find yourself. We find ourselves over here, right? We got to resist it, but also because we didn't have enough energy to control ourselves. So if you don't have enough energy to control yourself, someone else control you. Energy just doesn't sit there. It's controlled by somebody. So if you don't have energy to control yourself, and somebody else controlling you. So now we have enough energy to control ourselves. But we do have a headwind. And those brothers and sisters that are in prison right now, unless they're demons, most of them are in there, they lock themselves up in there. They lock themselves in because self-imposed energy deprivation. Like some of these brothers and sisters getting shot down, if they're not demons, they shot themselves down. They create that situation. They created negativity that brought that about. Like I said, because we have the resistance, the devils get a quality of our resistance. They get a quality of our negative energy. They determine the quality. We get home, we determine the quality of our negative, if we have any negative energy, they determine the quality of it. So you got 100 units of bad luck, so to speak, right? And say a unit is worth a bullet. You got 100 bullets coming at you. If you run into a devil, You're doing that to yourself. What's happening right now is doing it to yourself. Like I said, I've had nothing but bad luck since I've been working with Angel. I'm doing that to myself. Because I'm using all the energy I have, the positive energy I have, I'm giving it to Lazarus. I'm doing it to raise Lazarus. I'm using it to raise Lazarus up. So that's the form my energy is taking. So I know that. Because before I did that, anyone knows me, I was doing very well. I was what you call upper middle class, on the way to being wealthy, living in a mini mansion, 5 bathrooms, 3 stories, 6 bathrooms, a nice piece of land, a detached garage, had a room over top of it. In New Jersey, very expensive at the time. And all that went away when I devoted myself to Angel 100%. Family and everything all went away. Didn't have to. But this has been entrusted to me. You have entrusted me. Your forefathers entrusted me. They put their trust in me to save them at the last minute. They put all that trust in me. Little on me. I looked at it and said, I couldn't believe it. Me? I never looked at myself like that. They put that trust in me. I said, I'm going to live up to it. And anybody knows me, I have not blinked an eye. 100%. So what they're doing is they're tricking you to destroy yourself, give your inheritance. They give you inheritance, right? Destroy yourself, create negative energy for yourself. I hear running around with Weston already told you, Yee, whatever his name is. He don't give a F about you. He said white lives matter. And I listened to that boy's interview, and that boy is stupid. He is stupid. I ain't saying crazy, but he is stupid. But nothing he said made any sense to me. He said a few couple things that kind of like ring a bell, but you couldn't connect 2 things together. I mean, he's the richest black man ever lived or whatever. No, he's not. He's one of the poorest. But you don't understand what the Quran says. Those who love this world life, Allah gives it to them and hurry. But there's no push from here. So that means there's no push. He's not going to hereafter. He can't make it. It said what another thing said, what the Prophet Muhammad said in the Hadith. He said, for a rich man to get in heaven, it's easier for a camel to get through an eye of a needle. They ain't going. Remember the talk about Nicodemus? That's Farrakhan. He secretly comes to me, right? Hey man, go work out some hell. No, you're a demon. You gotta be born again, man. You were destroyed by Nicodemus, demon. He said it was righteous and everything. I was come all holy. No, because you're a demon. Ain't nothing you can do to get in here. He told me you gotta be born again. Oh, Chris said, well, they can say what they want to say. No, because you're born a demon. You gotta be born original. So you create your own situation, brothers and sisters. I'm not, like I said, I decided to go on this mission. I'm giving all in all to raise my people. I'm not doing to be worshipped, anything like that. I frown on it. I tell people that want to do that, I tell them right now, stop, cold. No, don't be doing that. I'm just your brother. Master Muhammad said he was just your brother. He was your nephew. That's that devil stuff. That's all over. That's not be going on in the hereafter. That you call the hereafter. There's a lot of hereafters. You don't know what you mean by the hereafter. You have the devil's gone. You have to get back home. You have to stop being stupid. You have to get your mind back. You got to kill that word hereafter. What they referring to? Because you assume too many things. Like Minister Yusuf Shah used to say, right? When you assume something, you make an ass, assume, ASS, out of you, ASSU, and me, ASSU, ME, assume. Stop assuming, brothers and sisters. Be accurate. Check your language. Check your definitions. You claim you're a mathematician. Be a mathematician. Be accurate. Choose your words properly. If you can't say them, say you can't say them like me, right? You can write them. Sometimes I even write them. I get error. I'm not going to blame it on YouTube because I tell you a couple times I know I spelled that right. I look back at it. I said, how that happened? But I double check everything. I know I'm not that tired, but it's still my responsibility. I don't like blaming other people for anything. I said I had ex-demon for wife. I didn't blame her. So I'm not blaming you. See, I saw you come in. I ain't do anything about it. Blame myself for being stupid enough to be with your dumb ass. So it's my fault, not yours. See? I don't blame her. It was my fault. And then sticking with her after I realized where she was. Whose fault was that? My fault. I ain't blaming her for that. She was a demon. She's a demon. Right? So demons do what demons do. So stop blaming other people, brothers and sisters, for what you're doing. Stop blaming other people for your situation. Stop doing that. Okay? Don't be doing that. Anyway, brothers and sisters, let's move on to the presentation. Now, these plagues, okay, let me get some background information here. When we were in slavery, that was justified. There was no repercussions going to come to those because of enslavement. That's why in the Abrahamic covenant, it was enslavement and persecution. See, we were told to submit to them. There was no replication because that was the balance. I talk about the balance and perfect balance. That was the balance at the time. See, but when they went to persecution, that means they went and they was unjust, as the Quran says. Not touch that treaty to be unjust. They were unjust. So therefore, at that point, right, consequence come in. Because they was only supposed to take $10 from us every day, but they took $10, that was justified, but they took 20, that means now it's 10 every day that's building up against them. So that was the Holocaust. Now the enslavement part, the persecution part, which was beyond anybody could imagine. Now I'm going to get into details here. So as far as the demons are concerned, see, they went through the Holocaust too. But any treatment of them was unjust. All treatment of them was unjust because they were devils too. They were devils too. It's just blackface. So all the treatment against them that they didn't go to the tents that we went through because most was master children in master's house. We saw Django, how he almost lived as good master did. But not all of them. But they was persecuted and discriminated against and everything else. Not just since we were, but still any persecution of them whatsoever, any, was unjust. That's why they're getting all they getting now. That's why they so successful now. Because that's why Allah, like I said, Allah will hasten too. That's why they're getting all these blessings. That's why you got people like, Kanye, whatever the hell his name is, multi-billionaire. Because they're getting all this right now. That's why but they would have no portion. They getting all this on this side. Because they can not get on the other side of that, but they don't get to the other side to begin with. We already closed the door on that. That's why they're getting it now. Do you understand? Because that's justice. Because they was persecuted against also unjustly. So now they're getting their reward now. And for some of you, from your point of view, that man, this guy be there, this guy got $10 million, they got nice houses and everything else. Because it said those who get this world's life had no portion hereafter. Those who love this world's life had no portion hereafter. And of course, they're not going to speak against America. How are they going to speak against America? America goes, their wealth goes with them. Who's facing that dollar bill? Of course, Oprah and them ain't going to speak against America. They don't want America to go anywhere. but their wealth goes with them. Understand? So that takes care of the demons. So now, because unjust treatment of us, it built up, built up, built up. It's like termites was eating away at the foundation. And now the house is about to fall as a result of all that unjust they was doing. It's about to fall. Now you're starting to see the result. See? And we give it the form because now that we're not suffering energy deprivation anymore. Maybe some of us suffer self-imposed energy deprivation, but the fact that we're not suffering anymore means now that we have control of our energy, right? We're getting control of it. Let me take that back. Because they still, as long as we're here, they have control of the quality of it. Have control of the quality of it. But see, Suleiman, because he has his mind back, he has energy, he's master angel, so that's why he's the firstborn of the dead ones, right? He has his mind back, right? So he can deal with that resistance that they have over the quality of our energy because he's fighting on that level. So it's a war there. He's fighting on the atmospheric level. Atmospheric level. That's a good word. So now you're seeing the results. And it's getting stronger and stronger every day because he's getting stronger and stronger every day. It says the struggle of the evil devils is ever weak. What does it mean by that? The struggle of the devils are ever weak. That means they're getting weaker and weaker by the day in which they are. If they get weaker, that means we get stronger. Remember, everything has to balance. If they're getting weaker, energy don't just sit there. So they lose control. That means we're gaining control. In America, anybody can see America lose control. So who's gaining control? Who's gaining the control that they're losing? They're losing because somebody's gaining. It ain't just happening. Somebody's gaining, that's why they're losing. So who's gaining control? It tells you an angel. Every time you broke one of those seals, they start losing control. The more, right? One seal says, the second seal took peace away from everybody. They start just slaughtering each other. I'm not going to details about that because there's two sisters that's gonna blow you away with that one. I'm sure they're gonna do a good job. You know, these sisters, they talk well. Right? I should just stop talking, just get in my script, let them talk for me because they talk. The sisters, you know, they normally, if you understand the brain, they say that women are naturally clear talking, clear, not talking about as far as wisdom concerned, but talking about eloquent, more eloquent than men. And I guess good because you love to hear a woman talk, don't you? I don't hear one of these dudes talking. What they were talking to me about? But you love to hear a sister when she's talking, she's singing, she's talking. Boy, that's beautiful, ain't it? Doesn't do something for you, touch your soul. That's where they are, heaven. We're gonna protect them at all costs. If you can't, I will. Master Muhammad will. So we got their back. And they shouldn't worry about anything anymore. Because I'm not gonna let anybody put fear in these sisters anymore. I can't put fear in these sisters and you're dead. No more fear in these sisters anymore. Ever. But then sisters, don't go out here and what they call it, antagonize and what's the word they use, provoking these brothers and your husband and so forth. Don't be provoking them now. Because we got your back and you start going and kick ass. You better not do that back to me because something, I'm going to tell your ass. No, don't be doing that. Be respectful. You got 180 degrees. What we're saying is that the brothers got to respect you, but you got to respect yourself. So we gain control over them. They're losing control because we're gaining. So that means we start to give quality, right, to our control over them. See, because they had total control of our quality, of our energy. since it's been here. But now, if we, it says the angel, once you got your mind back, now you can start getting control of quality of theirs. And that's what the plagues are about. And these plagues represent Armageddon. And what is Armageddon? It's European war. As the Quran says, we're going to let some of them surge against others. That's what the plagues are, isn't it? There's the European war. There's a war after that. Right? There's a war before that. But these 9 plagues are Europe. They're aspects of Armageddon, European war, and the main purpose of them is because they was warned. I warned them a few weeks back. It's too late now. So let us go. That's the purpose of them. See? Destroy their ability to have any control of us whatsoever, so our people can escape here. Because that's what the plagues refer for, to make them let us go. Because they have you in many ways, brothers and sisters, that you don't understand. See, I'm not saying, when I say let you go, I don't mean just let you walk out of here. Let you go mentally, let you go physically, let you go psychologically, let you go emotionally. They got you in control of all these different things. And we have to break their control over that because we can't let you go home emotionally still locked down here. Psychologically, remember the story about Noah, Lot's wife? Don't look back. We can't have you looking back. We got to break their, it says, Allah will lift you up, but you clean the earth. We got to break that totally. That's why I told them, you have to let my people go immediately. And you have to proclaim everything you did to them so they be clear of you. Understand all the tricks and everything you've done. That's why I said that away. So that's why we leave out with great wealth and had a total break of their controls. See, like I said right now, one of the ways they control you is self-imposed energy deprivation. They literally don't have any control over you. But the point is, they deceive you. They get you to use your energy against yourself. We got to stop that. We can't let you go with that mindset. Hope you understand, brothers and sisters. I'm going to go through this rather quickly. Right? I'm not going to go into a lot of detail about it. One reason, well, there's a lot of reasons I can't go into detail because speaking to you is speaking to them. So let's go through it. Let's see what it comes with, brothers and sisters. Now, I made a couple of remarks here. The plagues. Now, it tells you in chapter 18, this is Babylon fallen. Through this, in one day will come the plagues of her. See, in one day, all this will happen in 1 year period of time. Death, mourning, and famine. Famine, that's a big one. When you understand famine, you need to restudy that. And these sisters are going to talk about that one. Because brothers, I've really been trying to hit on that lately. I'm back down just a little bit. Give sisters a chance to step in and talk about that one. Because sisters most likely to understand this one more than the brothers. Because they got children to think about, mouths to feed. Brother, he talk all me, I just, no. Sister ain't gonna think that way. And maybe that sister be able to penetrate that mind of the hard-headed brother. There's there where she can explain it to him, right? She wants rolling pin. Oh, you got it now? No, don't do that, sister. Right? And the fire should be burned down. So, and 1 day means 1 year. Plague of her, death, mourning, and famine. See, death represents the invasion by China. Right? Famine, they say famine here. That means they're not talking about just not food growing. There will be no food. No food in America, none. I already explained that. The whole presentation I gave where they say, God said there will be no food, no birds, no fish, nothing. Now the question of the stuff, if there's no food at all, and it's a 1 year period, what are they going to be eating? They're going to just die. They're sitting there, they ain't going to die that way. Plagues, death, mourning, famine, and fire. The Bible says no. The scripture said no. It says they'll be eating their own children. And they can eat children. Think about that one. If they get the point to eat on children and you around here, 3/5 human, remember anything that's not 1% human can be eaten. You 3/5 human. You know, the gorilla, I think gorilla is like 2/5 human because the DNA is similar. That's why I say 3/5 human because you're not totally white. So it means you're not really human. You're only 3/5 human. Anything not totally human can be eaten. Think about that one. And that fire should be burned down. The plagues that's coming upon America. This is doing Armageddon. See? And destroying the law of God, judging means we bring this. This ain't just happening. The God is bringing this about. And they will weep, not no mystery God. And they will weep and they will strike themselves upon her, the kings of earth, with her having committed fornication, having lived unreigned luxury, whenever they may be looking at smoke of fire on her. Right? Strike themselves upon her. What does that mean? Who's the king of earth? That's European countries. They're going to be fighting with America. You already see the beginning of that already. Let's move on, brothers and sisters. I heard a voice out of heaven say, "Come you out, people of me." This is the 18th chapter of Revelation again, right? See, so you should not share together the sin of her. Now, Farrakhan tell me we ain't going nowhere. He says, no, that just means come out of her religion and everything else. Really? They tell you there could be a famine with no food, and that's all it means is just come out of her religion? So what you going to eat? Or maybe the better question is, who will you be eating by? Whose plate you going to be on? You listen to that damn dumbass if you want to, because he's going to, oh, okay. See, it says, come out of here, get the hell out. That's the, is that what they did in Sodom and Gomorrah? Oh man, well look, God's going to bring these hailstones down, so what we're going to do is we're going to go in our secret chambers. And we're just going to, we're not going to worship their holidays anymore. And those hailstones, man, they're going to come down. They're going to see it. We ain't into their technology. We ain't into their society anymore. We ain't worshiping their false God. And that hailstone say, hey, man, that's a good one. Hey, let's detour. Let's go hit that one next door. That what you think is going to happen? See? Because her sins out of the plagues of her in order that she should receive. Because we're glued together all her sins unto the heaven called the mind of God the unjust act for her. She was unjust. That's why she's receiving a massive injustice. What she was given. Give it back to her also. She back to you. In other words, give double. That's a hard one. I'm not going into that in detail because that would be unjust if we gave her back double what she did to us, wouldn't it? If we gave her double what she gave to us, wouldn't that be unjust? We're not unjust people. So that means something else I'm not going to right now. But she's going to get everything she had coming, right? According to the works of her, and the cup of her she mingled. Give to her double. As may she glory herself and live unreigned luxury, so much give you to her torment and mourning. That she gave to us, torment and mourning. So it said we should give them back double. Maybe one day I'll explain what that means. Bottom line, she won't get. But, from her point of view, America's point of view, these devils' point of view, they'll think we gave 10 times much from their point of view, because hell is raging. And now, Lord, now we're back to Exodus, right? Now, Lord said to Moses, one more plague I will bring on Pharaoh and Egypt. After that, he will let you go from here. Will let you go, he'll surely drive you out from there completely. So I'm going to let you read that on your own, but it said completely. It doesn't say partially to 6 states, right? Or stop their Christianity, or stop smoking and drinking. That's what it says. It said completely. He would drive you out completely. He would drive you out. I mean, he's going to drive you out. So in other words, think about it. He didn't say, we're going to drive ourselves out. He says, he will drive you out. So what's he going to do? He's going to say, you better stop smoking. You better stop being a Christian. You're going to stop. He said he's going to drive you out. So if that's what Farrakhan's saying, you got to stop doing it. Wait a minute. According to Farrakhan, you got to be drive yourself out. He said he's going to drive you out. So where's it more likely? It's more likely he push you out of this country. Or you sitting around and say, I'm gonna be with Farrakhan now. I'm gonna stop doing this stuff. He said he will drive you out. But think about it. I'm gonna leave that there, boss, just let you think about that one. Because I want to get through these. Okay, we're gonna go by this one at a time, brothers and sisters. I'm not going into a lot of detail about it. I'm just gonna give you a brief explanation, right? But the first is blood. Now you have to understand the angel to get that one because it says like in sixth seal, right? The sun became black as the sackcloth hair and the moon hole became his blood. Gets back to that, and but I'm not going to go into detail about that. But the bottom line is, this is the war between the dragon and his angels and Michael's angels. And the Sunnis is going to be with them because that's the House of Saad. That's the dragon, but he's going to control the Sunni. It's going to be a bloody war. This war takes place. That means they're trying to tell you here that Sunni is going to be in that war too. Oh, that was the thing I would say. I mean, if this sister's listening, no, not the sisters, excuse me, the brothers listening, they're not Arabs. And for the sister, right, they're not fake Arabs. They are Arabs. They are half brothers, but they are Arabs, not fake Arabs. They're not Arabs. So those, those who are aware know what I'm talking about, right? They're not fake Arabs. They're real Arabs. They're not fake brothers. It should be. I mean, what they did to us, they betrayed us. That's what's going on. It's going to be a very bloody war. Very bloody war. And that's the first part of it, because we'll get more blood when we return home, and we got to finish them off. Okay? Blood on both sides, a lot of blood spilled. And that war is going to take place in the Middle East pretty soon. It's going to be a very bloody war. Very bloody. Then the second one. Now let me back. Remember I said it's a European war, right? Because this is the war that triggers that one. So let me make a connection. That war is what triggers Armageddon. So it's a continuation. I'll go into more of that in more detail another time. Then said the frogs. Now the frogs, that's these Christian blacks. See? They be rioting and everything all over the place. Is that a demon war? Because a lot of problems. We saw this George Floyd thing, Black Lives Matter kind of stuff. Put a lot of confusion in America. They're the frogs. That's no plague at a time that America's at war. They caused a lot of confusion in America. America's not going to need rioting, all that kind of stuff, party, because they're going to be trying to get them, draft them to go to war. Try to get them. They're going to say, no, we don't want to do that unless you're going to give us 6 states or whatever. That's these demons. So they're going to be rioting and causing all kind of civil disobedience. And that's going to be very detrimental. America's at war in Europe, but it's going to be a very, very, very dramatic war. So we can get into that in a minute. That's the frogs. Then that's lice. This is the great betrayal. Am I saying this right? We've got to say that. Okay, yeah, that's right. I got it right. It's a great betrayal on two fronts. We already see signs of it already, but the NATO and EU is going to turn against America. That's what I said earlier, the King's Earth destruct themselves, they're the kings of the earth. Because remember that America, Britain, false Israel, Europe, Russia, that's what the angel calls the earth. So they slaughtering each other. That's what it says in the second seal, right? Took peace from the earth. They began slaughtering each other. Because America thinks they have peace now. But that war in the Middle East, they lose it. That's going to trigger this, and they're going to start fighting each other. Great betrayal. On top of that, on top of all that, another problem. Because when Europe betrays them, EU is going to be against America because they blame America. They're going to be short of fuel and all kinds of things. You also got false Israel is under siege. And right now, at that point, right, they're starving. They have no food. All their food been cut off. They're under siege. Okay? But let me take a segue here. That's why it says, men's hearts be failing for fear of those things coming upon the earth. Remember, the earth represents European countries, specifically America, because the powers of heaven has been shaken. Now, if heaven's way beyond sun and star, how do they know that? That's Europe. That's the Middle East. Who has the power in the Middle East right now? America, false Israel, and Britain. They kicked out. The powers are shaken. And now, men's hearts will be failing for fear of those things coming. What's coming upon the earth? What's coming upon the earth? And whatever comes upon earth is a result. Is a result of the powers of heaven being shaken. So what is that? What happens is when America and Britain's kicked out, they leave false Israel alone and abandoned, isolated, under siege. That's the result of the powers having been broken. So why would men hearts be failing for that? Because they say, what you see happen here is about to come to the earth. What's happening here? If you understand the scripture says they're going to be under siege for a while. It doesn't say exactly how long, a month, 2 months. They have no food. So they're going to start eating each other. Wholesale. They be fighting each other. Either on the sun, they said the way it's going to be, it said the sun be the father and the father be the son. That means they got a wholesale fight between themselves. They're fighting each other to eat. They had a war between themselves to eat. And that's what they said. That's going to be spread all over the world. The whole world's going to see that. That's the abomination of desolation. And that's why it says, men's hearts failing for fear of those things come first. But that's what's going to happen here in America. There's going to be no food, and people are going to be eating each other and everything else. And that's what he feared. He says, men's hearts were failing for fear of those things, and anticipation, those things, because they know it's coming. You know it's coming. For the powers of heaven to be shaken. That's the famine, because now they understand the scripture. Now you have Suleiman, he's got a bull, what do you call it, bullhorn? Right, he's got an international voice now. He's telling me, explaining what it means anyway. So that's the lice. The lice is America's over there, they think they had NATO with them, they got you, and they turn against them. And now you got all that, plus, remember they're going to be fighting against their old allies, France, Germany. They're going to turn against America. All in NATO and everything else. How many of those people over here in America? See, during World War II, they went to war with Japan. They locked up all the Japanese. They ain't going to be there over here in America. But the point is, you got French over here. They still loyal to France. Germans over here, still loyal to Germans. They're going to be tearing this country apart. Sabotage and everything else. Because they don't go with their people. See? They'll be loyal, patriotic to their countries. That's what that means, brothers and sisters. They're all aspects of the country. And this is an add-on to that, supplement to that. Because remember I said false Israel is under siege, they're taken down, and they're taken down a hard way. Because they're going to be under siege, the Palestinians and everything are going to, right? And once, because after they finished all that, they're gonna leave them on the siege. They want the whole world to see who they really are. See them as savages eating each other, and then they destroy them. And America and Britain is not. It tells you they're not going back in there to fight again. See, because they already know they started with an air armada. All their jet planes, they went over there, think they just bombed the place. And that's when Master Muhammad says, Michael and his angels, with the dragon's angels, Master Muhammad intervenes, wipes out their air force, they sent over there, air armada. And now it reduced the whole place, and they neutralized their nuclear weapons. Now the whole Middle East, right, is denuclearized. And false Israel cannot win ground war outnumbered like 50 to 1. That's how they get on the siege, surrounded. And they cannot tell the American people how their Air Force, and they was defeated like that. They can't tell American people that Master Muhammad did this. They can't tell people that. That was shaken to their core. So they tell them Russia did it. Russia's help. So that's how Russia, that's how Europe blows up. But the point here is that the false Israels that's here, the false Israel people, call themselves Jews, it's over here in America and in Britain, they're going to be, oh man, catatonic. Because they see how false Israel being torn apart, and they see how the cannibalism and what they're doing over there, how Iran and Syria has laid siege on them with no mercy, and Palestinians about to get a hold to them. Would that be no mercy? And they can't get America to go back over there and save those people. They're gonna rebel, and they're in all high places in America. And they're gonna start directly and indirectly undermine America from within, trying to blackmail America to go back in there and save their people. That's what the flies are. So it's supplement to the lights in the. So lights is a European country, but now you got false Israel's part of that. That's part of it, and now they taking it undermine America, because they're in every high place in America. They control all kind of industry there. They cause all kinds of havoc. All kinds of havoc. That's about brothers and sisters. So let's move on. That's the flies. Now we're talking about livestock. And I said all the livestock, Pharaoh's livestock, we killed, but none of Moses' livestock, or none of the children of Israel, none of Israel's livestock. That's not NOI. That's two right there. See? Because they're going to attack. At this point, they're going to attack black folks, all black folks. But NOI is going to be protected. That's what it's telling you. Look at there. Then the boils. It's like a disease. Everybody over in Europe, including American forces, boils. Sores will come out all over the people. So these are going to break out as a cause of war and famine and all stuff that's going on. And their chemicals, right? Chemical warfare they're going to be doing over there. Of course, blisters come out over everybody's body in Europe, as that is. It's all doing Armageddon, the war over there. 7 say hail. See? Okay, that's when the 4 winds blow. Now this, I guess I can reveal this now. This is part of Obama's army. I told you Africa is broken up into 2 parts. Islamic Africa was going to go with Master Muhammad. Non-Islamic Africa, that's going to go with Obama. He's that other beast in chapter 17, 7 heads and 10 horns, but no crowns upon either. But he's with the beast that has 7 heads and 10 horns and crowns upon his horns. He's with them together. Well, that's the African, if you understand your key. But when that happens, right, he's calling all his people, right, to go against America. Plus, he's a former president, so he's a Gog. You know, he's a, and he wants to destroy America. He said America's fall, so he wants to. He's going to be with. He wants to be with China anyway when they come and invade. And he's going to call all his people here, right? Non-Islamic Africans, to start tearing this country apart. He's already promised them, maybe we're going to beat it in a minute, so just get, soften it up. Start attacking. That's going to be enough distraction for our people to come together. But that's okay. Right now, says Ahmed, he's holding them back. When he releases them, they'll be under Obama's command. I'm not going to go too much detail there, brothers and sisters, because I've revealed some things I should be revealing at this point. I leave it there. But in other words, they're going to be tearing America apart. So now you got the false Jews doing it. You got the demons doing it. You got the Africans doing it. In other words, you got total instability, total turmoil over here at time. America's had to fight for his life over in Europe. And you got China, India, they're getting stronger, and they're on the way, right? Japan, they're on the way to attack America on the West Coast. That's the place. All these things happen at once. All these things happen at once. So then America is attacking. They're trying to get things under control, right? So now they're attacking all the blacks. They're attacking all the blacks. All. But the Black Nation of Islam is protected. They're attacking all. Remember, there's no food. What food there is, they give it to the military. No food, and they're attacking. They're trying to get America under control. Plus, there's no food. Two things there. Neutralize all these people's causing all this trouble, the blacks particularly. And then how are we going to feed the population? 3/5 human, remember? No food here. How are they going to fight a war with no food? How are they going to do anything without any food? It's not a one-day thing, not a one-week thing, not a one-month thing. So now they're fighting back because they know they're scheduled for the menu. They're scheduled for the pot, the oven, for the diner. That's the locust. So they start organizing, coming together. Farrakhan was part of that. If we take this country, there was, we can do it. See, you can look at it. America's at war, all this trouble's going on. It's an opportunity. It's strategy. We can take this country. Plus, they don't want to be eaten. So they come together. The last 5 months. So if it starts there, it'll be 7 months from now when they come together. Because the 5 months is the last 5 months, because that, and then 5 months, that's when America was destroyed. So I give some time frame there. The ninth plague, darkness. That refers to the NOI. Everybody have darkness except them, because they got Suleiman and they got the light. Let's just talk about brothers and sisters. I think that's pretty much it. I'm not going into any more detail than that. That is good enough. Oh no, well, I guess I'm reiterate this. My voice, I expect to lose my voice in day now, bro, since I keep nursing it, but I'm virtually worn out. It's never gonna stop me, bro. Joshua Muhammad says, "You got my back. You better be about Joshua." I'm going full speed. My people depend on me. I'm not gonna have anybody lost because that way. Easy. You just took a break. You tell myself take a break. Everybody tell take a break. And it sounds very enticing. I tell you. Sometimes, oh yeah, but I said no, I can't do that. I talk about it, but I don't do it. And then here's the last play. You can read it. See how we go out with silver and gold. I'm not sure about silver and gold. That caused us to plunder because we. Okay, let me say this. And I'm gonna close out here. I put a GIF together about apes with technology. I'm not going to detail you, but this technology came out of our minds. And the reason why they have so much trouble with it because it's not theirs. They're apes with it. They don't even know how to use it. They don't use it effectively. Because when I was a contractor, it used to amaze me when I was going to contract. You know, I'm a contractor. I'm not an employee. And they have me come do something and I see what was done. See, y'all, they ain't as smart as you think they are. They're not. I mean, at the gym, I'm amazed. Okay, say you go to the gym, right? And like, I just got finished using a machine, right? Or somebody, right? And I got 25-pound plates, right? I got two of them. I got, the press. So I got 50 on one side, 50 on the other side, right? 225 pounds on one side, 25 pounds on the other side. So that's 50 and 50, that's all together. The bar costs about 40. So that's 140 pounds I'm pressing, right? So I leave and or someone else have it. But anyway, this devil comes over. He takes the weights off. He grabs a 45, put on there. Then grabs a 5, put on there at the other side. I said, and this guy, he's a Fortune 500 guy. I mean, still when he leaves out, he got a suit and tie and everything else. I said, that's what I just saw. I mean, it's something different between my 50 pounds and his 50 pounds. I mean, 25 is 50, right? 45 and 5 is 50, right? Because they ain't smart you think they are. When you observe them close, they ain't smart you think they are. Now, I used to see that when I was a contractor. I used to see how stupid they were. When you just programming and stuff. And then you think they, like why you see all that software they have and you program your phone and say, how the hell this is stupid? Because they're stupid. I was going to fix stuff for them. That's why they wouldn't have me around. They very seldom renewed my contract. And I had perfect reference. That's why I got Confiscated Copy. I was very successful at it. But they didn't want me around because they don't want you around if you're smarter than them. When anybody sees you smarter than them. Because everybody's smarter and then you show up. But usually when I look around, I see the Negroes that was there, they usually ignorant, stupid. And that's why they keep them there. Because they can always show how they're smarter than them. But when I show up, they don't like that. I mean, I can tell all kinds of things where I say them AT&T and or different places. What's that? Sean's company. Can't think of the name of it. Millions of dollars. I gave solutions to things. They probably still using all these years. Not as smart as you think they are. All this technology came from you, brothers and sisters, but they have control of it. I keep telling you, they control the nature, the quality of energy. And so they like apes. So you learn nuclear weapons first they do. Nuclear technology first, they make a weapon. Why? Because they know they ain't supposed to be here. They militarize everything. They're still trying to figure it out. There's a lot of things they can do with computers that they haven't even thought about. I can tell them, but I'm not going to tell them. That's why they can't understand what mass bomb is that will. They can't understand it. Yes, they got all this knowledge. They got atomic bombs. They know calculus. They claim they know calculus, right? They know nuclear fusion, right? Vectors. Quantum mechanics. Well, they got all this, and yet still they have no idea what's power Max Thomas wills. They know they're there. Because they're not as smart as you think they are. I've never met one smarter than me, ever. I was somehow, I never met black people before Elijah. So I can calculate how much 5 times 5 is. I know these devils, they Now, the brothers they had ability, but they've been deceived into thinking NFL, NBA, and all that kind of stuff. And that's why they got to get their mind back. Because they put the stars out there. I didn't do it by myself. Master Muhammad didn't do it by himself. No God did by himself. You, the brothers, our brothers and sisters did that out there. They put those stars. The brothers put the stars together. Sister made the beauty. You see the beauty in the universe. That's a sister's mind. That came out of sister's mind. That didn't come out the brother's mind. The brother threw a star up there, man. Hey, I got a star up there. So, hey, man, let's put it this way, man. We get a constellation. Oh, man, that's beautiful. We got to put this thing, we got to get our mind straight. First, we got to get our mind back. The sisters put the beauty in the creation. We gave it the structure, they gave it the beauty. Just throwing a star up, they don't mean anything, it's just a star. But you arrange it a certain way, and it's beautiful. You know, you can go out there and grab a shirt and pants and go out there and look like whatever, and sister go arrange a certain way, make you kind of, man, that's beautiful. Put the master colors and everything else. So anyway, the last plague, right, is to drive it all together. That's the one where, now all these plagues not taking the sequence I just gave you. That's the sequence they revealed it. That's not the sequence they take place in. But it's the last plague. This is the last one from the sealed Bible. The plague was the COVID. 1619, 2019, a plague that would kill the firstborn when the elderly and pass over us, which it did. This is the unsealed. This is Britain. Because Britain is going to be the first countries taken down. When they go to war in Europe, and now you hear them talk about, I've been saying for years, now you're talking about Russia's going to turn Britain into a Mars desert. About destroying Britain. Because Britain's going to be the first to go down. I mean, they're going to destroy that island completely. All going to left their military, and then they're going to be on the island. They're going to make their way here to make their last stand over here. That's that ram with two horns. Why he got two horns? Because he's here. Two horns, American Britain, but they're here. He takes him. He's a why it said the ram, he attacks the ram here in America. Because come across, his feet not touch ground. It means come across the Pacific Ocean, comes to the ram, but the rams didn't have one horn, they had two horns. That means the British military is here too. Along with the Canadian, along with the Australian, New Zealand, all of them. All part of the crown. Because they wiped out Britain. They wiped it out. And then took out Australia too afterwards. But it says it's going to take it down so horrifically. Right? Horrifically, right? Almost as bad as the way they took down false Israel. It says it's going to be such a cry in America. Because like America looks at Britain like their wife or something. I mean, that, it's like part of them. When they see Britain taken down, they always saw how false Israel was taken down. That was a bombing desolation. Basically, the way they take Britain down, the horrific way they do it, right? They says it's going to be outcry in Egypt such as never, ever was before. Even worse than when they took down false Israel. Because see, a lot of people don't care about false Israel anyway. They only put them there to deceive us. They didn't, because remember, they was burning them up just a few days before that. They didn't put them there because they love them. They put them in the account of Elijah Muhammad's assertion that we're true to Abraham, which we are. See? I think I have something on the next page and then we close out. You can read at your own leisure, brothers and sisters. Okay. That's Britain, right? And it says, there's a difference between, and there should be a great cry for all the land of Egypt, such as there was none like it, nor shall be like it anymore. That means the way to take down Britain is going to be so horrific that America is going to be, it's going to be a shock. Shock of the hour. I mean, these shocks coming, bam, these plays, this is the last one. And see, at this time they realize that they received these plagues because of us. And they're eating us, doing all kinds of stuff, right? And that's why that was going to be such a, let them go, get them out of here. Because they're going to fearful that it's going to happen to them, which is going to happen to them anyway. That's when they drive you out. See? That's it. We're not leaving out in haste. We're not running out of here. But we're being taken out by Master Muhammad. Only those in the Lamb's Book of Life. So we drive it all together. So we're going back home. In other words, they're not going to bother us. You have to get the hell out of here. That's why we're not going to, they drive you out. Says they drive you all together. It means they're not, right? They're not stopping you. That means we ain't got to run. Right? Hope you understand, brothers and sisters. That's it. This will happen. No, this is what you can look forward to in a few more days. Then in a few more days. Now, I ain't talking about next year. All this happened within a year's period, these plagues, and the result of it is we're going home. Because they're going to realize that these plagues are a result of the Holocaust, the consequences of what they're doing to us. Plus, you got Suleiman. He's got a world microphone now. He's telling them clearly. And demons, they shut down. And they just got that 5-month war with the demons before this happens. So like I said, he's not particularly in sequence. But they got 5 months war with demons. They're going to be 10, a little war, not riots and stuff, because they're trying to protect themselves, because they realized, because they already had a war with us. We all came together, we kicked them out. That's what's in Exodus. It says there was a war, but we slaughtered all of them. It means that we killed them, right? But that's what it said, the way it says it, right? We kicked them all out. In other words, when it says slaughter, we cut them off from life, because they can't go to life. They have to stay in with death. And so so now that's the whole thing in Mark, right? So they go back to the devil daddies. Devil daddies, they're eating them. So now, women, children, everything. So you got a full war. You got a famine here, no food. They eating them folks. Those black folks is here. Women, children, whatever. And the demons are fighting for their lives. Because we ain't taking it with us. In 5 months, then they finally defeated. They defeated on the eve of America being invaded by China and India. We're going to lay siege to America. Lay siege to America. No food. Eating their children, whatever. That siege going to last for a while, and then they finally burn it up. Hope you understand, brothers and sisters. I'm going to leave it there. I think that's it. Oh, well, showing how we return home. It's the resurrection. We all come together. Demons as well as the saints and everybody. And then we separate from them. We kick them back and we go home. Right home. Leave it there, brothers and sisters. Leave it there. I think I said enough about these plays without revealing too much. Because they understood it clearly. They prevent some of it. Because I told them some things they didn't really know. But now they got problems with some people that think they're friend here, think they're friends. Because that's why I said they blew up that Russian pipeline, Russian oil gas line. I don't know. They say, I don't know. We'll see. Because I told them that was going to be Russia going to use that to turn Europe against them, and all of a sudden they blow it up. Okay. I'm not going to go to spirit theory on that one. But hey, I don't believe in coincidences. I'm not going to say that was the cause. I don't say anything I can't prove, brothers and sisters. Right? If I say something I can't prove, I'll tell you. No, that's my opinion. Hope you understand, brothers and sisters. We're going to leave it there. Assalamu alaikum.